Hi and welcome to this Ultimaker tutorial. In this tutorial you will learn how to use the software and the 3D printer. Let's get started. The software is available on every PC in the ACTlab. The first thing that you have to do is import a file. I'm using a .stl file. As you can see, the file is very big. We can scale it down a little by using the settings on the left. You can also use these settings to move or rotate your object. If you try moving the object up, it will automatically snap back to the build plate. This is necessary because the object needs to touch the build plate. The best position for your object, if it's a true 3D object, is in such a way that it needs the least support. Make sure that the gray bar on the top says Ultimaker to go. You can choose between different profiles. Each profile has their own settings. I'm choosing draft quality for now because it's faster, but if you want to print a nice object, you should use the fine quality. You can also manually adjust certain settings. However, I would recommend not adjusting more than the infill, which is responsible for the amount of infill inside the object, or the print speed, which determines the speed of the print head. If you're happy with the position of your object and the settings, you can save everything to the SD card in the Ultimaker. If you don't have an SD card reader yourself, you can get one at Meeting Point. If the file is correctly saved on the SD card, you can insert the SD card. The slot is on the front of the printer. The on and off switch for the Ultimaker is on the back of the printer. You can carefully rotate the printer to access that button. Press it and the printer will now start up. Rotate the circular button on the front of the 3D printer and highlight material. Press the button to select material and then select change. The printer will now start the process of removing any material that is left in the 3D printer so you can insert new material. The recommended material is PLA with a width of 2.85 mm. Although this printer can use other materials, it is definitely not recommended to do that. It is usually much harder to work with and it could seriously damage the printer. To start inserting the material, you can hang the spool on the back of the printer. Cut off a small piece of material at the start to create a nice and smooth starting point. In the meantime, the printer should have finished with reversing any material that was left in the printer. If the printer is done reversing any material, you can select Ready on the screen on the front of the Ultimaker. You can now insert your material. You should be able to see a small wheel spinning in the tiny black box on the back of the printer. The trick is to insert the material in such a way that the small wheel grips the material and pushes it in the see-through tube. This requires quite some force and you can use pliers to help you. As soon as you see the material moving through the see-through tube, you can select Ready on the front again. This will forward the material much faster. As soon as the material comes out of the nozzle in the front, press Ready again. Then you're done inserting new material. Finally, select the material that you inserted. In my case, and probably in your case too, this is PLA. This will automatically set all the settings needed for temperature, etc. To start printing, first remove the glass plate that is inside the printer. After that, spray it with the spray that is available. This is probably somewhere around the printer or in the glass doors of the closet. This spray will prevent the 3D print from sticking to the glass plate. It is now time to start printing. Select Print on the front display and select your saved file. It will now start printing. Although the printer is self-sufficient in a way, it is important to check in every now and then to see if your print still prints correctly. Otherwise, cancel it and start over, or make adjustments and start over. The print is now finished. You can remove the glass plate with the build on it. The build is probably sticking to the plate, but you can remove the build using a special tool. This tool is usually somewhere around the 3D printer. The easiest way to remove the object from the glass plate is to use the tool in short, fast strokes. As soon as the tool is under the edge of the print, you can simply remove the rest of the object. Once you remove the print from the build plate, you can start doing some post-processing. The first thing you need to do is remove the surrounding edge of your build. You can do this quite easily by just pulling it off. If necessary, you can always use some sandpaper to sand the remaining edges off. As you can see, this final product looks quite good. However, the quality and fineness of your product depends highly on the material, the heat, and the other settings that you can use in Cura, the software. If you're finished using the 3D printer, first put back the glass plate and secure it with the metal hinges. Then go to Change on the display on the front to remove your material. Wait for the material to be reversed entirely. And then remove the spool. Lastly, turn off the Ultimaker and you're done. Hopefully this tutorial will be of use when you create your next project. Thank you for watching, bye!